Pray the sound is good. Okay. Hey, facing the east, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son. It goes as Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Yahawah equals the Father's name, which means He is, He exists. Right, in the Paleo Hebrew. Then Yahawashi, which is the Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, which means He saves, He delivers. Once again, in the Paleo Hebrew, the Shalawam Kadash, the Rakakadash means a spirit that's holy, a spirit that's set apart. Right? So those are the names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which when you pray upon your power, you want to pray upon in those names, man. You don't want to come in no other name. All right? And we also baptize in those names. We baptize via the washing of the word. So this truth right here, this Bible, man, okay, the Bible of Yasharahla, the Bible of uprightness, all right, in a sense, you know, because they, oh man, the brother was bringing it down yesterday at camp. The book of Jasher simply means upright, all right, and that's what this is, okay. You know, that those fake books and all that, you know, it's not real, okay? But this right here, this is the book of uprightness. This is where we go to be upright, to know the correct ways and the proper ways, and to move forth and get back to our King, man, Yahawashi, and get back to the Father, Yahawah, right? Now, let's start. Second, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well, and sincerity taught us this truth. All right. Third, Shalawam, and salutations to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves in the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. All right. Back out here, man, with hopefully another edifying street preaching through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right, let's get into it, man. Lesson will be entitled Sleepy People. Sleepy People. So let's start over at Isaiah, the 28th chapter. Okay, I think that's my brother Kawam. Hey, Shalawam, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak. Yeah, exactly. William, sleep. Isaiah 34, we can get that first, and 16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahawah and read, not one of these shall fall or fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and His Spirit it have gathered them. All right, so these words are inspired, are given down, are sent down by Yahawah. They're in a sense channeled. You know how you got TV programming on channels, right? You got the TV guide, okay? That's what this Bible is. All right, it was channeled to the prophets, and the prophets wrote it down. Scribes, okay, the company of those that published this work, it was good company, honorable men, right? So Yahawah has given them His words. He has given them His understanding in the sense of what to write down, because we prophesy in part, you know, we give it out in part, right? And furthermore, at this point in time, when all of that is put together, we got all these books. We can go back and read Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, etc., etc. You know, we have a more sure word of prophecy. Okay? Now, I want to start over at Isaiah 28 and 1. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine. All right? And that wine would be speaking of philosophies, doctrines, ways, which the northern kingdom, Ephraim being at the head tribe of the northern kingdom, right? They would partake in all this wickedness, all this wine, these philosophies of the heathens. So they would be worshiping Baal, they'd be worshiping Ashtaroth, Molech, just Baal, all these different false gods, which neither speak nor hear nor can do anything. So this is what the northern kingdom is doing, and as well as the southern kingdom eventually, right? So their glory, because we was a beautiful people, was brought low. It was turned into shame. Okay? Verse 2. Behold, Yahawah hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters, overflowing shall I cast down to the earth with the hand. The crowd of pride, the drunkards of Ephraim, shall be trodden under feet. And the glorious beauty which is on the head of the fat valley shall be a fading flower, and as the hasty fruit before the summer, which when he that looketh upon it seeth, while it is yet in his hand, he eateth it up. So Yahawah basically said, he decreed that he was going to bring them down because there is a fading flower. So this flower is withering away. It no longer has that water, which is keeping it living. That living water, which once gave it life, right? Which is this truth. So once you start being took away from that living water, that true understanding, you are like a fading flower. You begin to wither and die off. How we see the plants die off in the fall, you know, and in the winter and all of that, right? And in a comparison, when we got this truth, we're like the plants in the spring, springing up, all right, blooming, blossoming, you know, we coming back to life. We're quickened via Yahawashi. So you don't want to be that fading flower, okay? And the spirit and the truth be took away. All right, so it comes through that wine, these different philosophies, these ways, especially in Babylon, man, where they're giving you a new philosophy on every other day. Okay, something new coming out every other day. So it's best to avoid and you know, don't pay attention to it too much, right? Keeping it going. In that day shall Yahawah of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty unto the residue of his people. Now, you would have elect men and women in the midst of those drunkards, in the midst of Ephraim at that point in time, the northern kingdom. All right? You would have the elect that would be preserved and saved through that time. Now, as a nation, though, we're punished. As a whole, Yahawah punishes nations. He's not just going to punish these individuals separately at that point in time. Okay, even right now, look at us. You have the elect, the hopeful elect, okay, that are waking up at this point in time, but we're still in the midst of Babylon. We're still in captivity, slavery with our brothers and sisters that may not want to wake up, that may not cleave to this truth, right? We cleave via the faith, man, via this understanding, this wisdom, by keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes, and seeking Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So you got our people that's here with us that don't care. But everybody gets that punishment, right? So it's not about one, it's about the body, okay? And verse 6, and for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn to the battle to the gate. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are Salakia. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. Right? So, hey, let's go to Romans 3. Okay, real quick. Because like we said, yeah, you have a remnant that is being preserved. But even in that, we are all guilty. Okay? As Yahawashi said to the Pharisees when they tried to condemn the woman, hey, which one of y'all gonna cast the first stone? Okay? This is Romans 3, and we'll start at 21. But now the righteousness of power without the law is manifest, being witnessed by the law and the prophets, even the righteousness of Yahawah, which is by faith of Yahawashi HaMashiach, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahawah. So, you know, in a sense, we were all once in that same box, all worshiping, all doing the wine of Babylon, all going down to Egypt seeking help, all right, you know, doing this and doing that, being in a foolish state, searching and seeking out the flesh, the desires of the flesh, right? And then certain men got woken up. They got brought into this light. They got quickened. So they were able to escape the crab in a bucket mentality, okay, that most Jake is in. All All right? And that would be what you would know as the remnant, the elect. So those men are preserved. Okay, keeping it going. Let's go back to Isaiah 28. But just reading that Romans 3 and 23 is just showing that when we up here, when we speaking and doing lessons, we're never boasting in the sense of being high-minded or that we're better than our people. All right? But the fact remains, you know, that we have been lifted to a certain standard of living that is higher than the rest of this planet. Now that is understood because we're what? We're going back to the Bible, to the book of uprightness. You know what I'm saying? So, verse 8. For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. Right? So you come into this, Hebrews 5 and 12 talks about when you come to teach, you need another teacher to teach you. So you have to be weaned from the milk, drawn from the breast. All right? And then you're able to walk, you're able to stand, you're able to grow thereby with a correct and a proper foundation. You know, and as a baby, what does a baby do? Intrigued with everything that's going on at this point in time. You know, that's how babies are. Pretty colors, pretty buttons, etc., you know? So to grow better as a baby, you want to be in a sense of isolated and focused with the tunnel vision on that proper foundation, that proper milk, that proper understanding. This is why it's not good to deal in multiple camps, right, or multiple doctrines, right? Because that's different wines. You know, you wanna stick to the apostles' doctrine, the true doctrine, understand. You know, verse 10. Because hey, furthermore, in Ephesians, is that Ephesians 1? No, Ephesians 4. It's only one truth. And I may grab that later on, or if a brother want to throw it on the comment board, you know. But it's only one truth, it's only one doctrine, it's only one faith. It's one Lord, one Father, right? So Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. It's only one body of Hamashiach. You know, any other body would be considered a body of death, okay? A congregation of the dead. So you don't want to be outside of that. You know, you don't want to be outside of the body of Hamashiach because that would set you by default into the body of the dead, okay? And I get the precepts, brother. Got some precepts on the board. You know, you throwing them up, bro. Hey, the water. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Exactly. So, second Esdras, you know, well, really, I just say it because I can't remember the scripture, but in Esdras, he was told when these scribes were moved by the Holy Spirit, Yahawah poured out the voice. They were told to write many books. They wrote hundreds, you know, of books. But he was only given a set amount of books to give to the people. And furthermore, to give to the wise of the people, right? So yeah, we didn't have all the books. We wasn't given all the books. Some books were sealed away and locked away, okay? But what we do have is enough. That's a fact. We have enough to make it, all right, to repent and convert, all right, and call upon Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So it's not a need to wonder, oh, where's this book? Where's that book? Is this book real? No, it's not a need of that, all right? You know, you can read and read and read all you want, but these 80 books is really all you need on this planet, man. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is here, and it's revealed, and it's brought out, right? You don't have to seek all these other different books, because what is that furthermore? That's wine. That's different type of wine that you're going to get yourself drunk upon. Okay, keeping it going. Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Hope, faith, patience, all right? Working and growing and all those things. So these scriptures, these stories, seeing our forefathers go through this trial, this challenge, this obstacle, you know, it gives us hope. Because what? We're going to go through the same things. Brothers are going to fall, and hey, Yahawah, you get back up. You know, we see our forefathers go through these things. So we pray that we have the strength and the courage to do the same thing. Because, hey, Yahawah, we are those men. Okay, so we hey, we see King David, you know, go off and do what he did, but through the spirit, power, and strength of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, he came back. All right, he repented, he got right, and hey, a righteous man falleth 7 times. Hey, you getting right back. You know what I'm saying? So it's this battle of the flesh. That's what it is. That's what we're seeing through the scriptures. We're seeing these brothers' personal battles of the flesh, man. What Daniel had to go through dealing with these individuals trying to throw him in the lion's den, you know, and then he being saved out of that. So these scriptures, what was written aforetime, is giving us hope. When we're thrown into a lion's den, all right, literally or figuratively, okay, you know, we get redeemed and saved out of that. America right now is a lion's den. You know, you got all these, you got the FEMA, you got the ICE, the DHS, the Border Patrol, all this type of stuff around us, waiting to pounce on us, and we can't fight that off means of carnal. Daniel couldn't have fought them lions off by his own strength. You know, he had to what? Pray on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, and that's what it is. You got to pray to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's it. To get up out of here, man. So read the scriptures, and the scriptures should uplift you and bring you to a new sense of hope, to grow your faith, and to work patience. Right? Let's get this. Brother got some more. Psalm 68 and 11. Yahawah gave the word. Great was the company of those that published it. Khan quoted it earlier, and that's furthermore showing you he doesn't give his word to just anybody. Okay? So, hey, Muhammad and the Quran is a no-no. Okay? What's some other ones? I don't really, the Emerald Tablets, whoever so-called wrote that, that's a no-no. Whatever tablets you got out there, okay? Yahawah did not ordain that. Now, he ordained and he preserved the Bible, okay? And that's what we have. The KJV 1611, okay? 80 books, Apocrypha included, right? The correct books, the proper books, not pseudo-pigraphical books, books that were attributed to authors, but the authors did not write those books, not those books, okay? But the truth, right? So, the company of those men will be what? Most likely of the elect. That's what it's stating, all right? And these men would be back, according to 2nd Esdras, the 1st chapter, around 38 going downward. These men would be up for leaders, all right? They're brought back upon this earth. You know, let's keep it going. Let me see you got a lot, bro. I'm gonna jump down so we can get back to it. Did you get that second, the Ephesians? I just get the 1 Timothy 4 and 16. Take heed unto thyself and unto the doctrine, continue in them. For in doing this, thou shalt both save thyself and them that hear thee. So continue in this truth, continue in these works, continue properly and correctly, and the correct way. You don't want to move in error when you're bringing anything out, you know. So you want to make sure you got it properly and correctly, so that it's no blame upon you, right? We are to be blameless men. We are to be perfect, right? And in that sense of being perfect, it's having our minds, bodies, and souls, you know, aimed upon Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. All right? That's what it means to be perfect, to be complete, okay? Not meaning you don't make any mistakes, okay? You're gonna make mistakes, man. All right? If we didn't make any mistakes, then this battle wouldn't be that hard. It would be, hey, you know, we just gotta wait. That's it. But you're gonna, you know, things are gonna fuck with you, right? You got to keep that in mind. But it's best, as we were stating earlier, you know, to limit distractions, to limit all these things that may try to hither you and take you off the path, right? Let's get back to Isaiah, the 28th chapter. And verse, where was he at? 9. No, it was at 10. For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. Okay? So, as the brother is doing on the comment board, as we're doing, right, going back and forth, we're going here, and then we're taking it over here, and then we're taking it over here, and we're breaking it down, and it's all coming together perfect, right? because none of the scriptures contradict any of the other scriptures, right? Now, when you go into those books of Enoch, Jasher, Jubilee, those type of things, book of Thomas, book of Adam and Eve, whatever, all right, these books contradict with the truth, okay? So that's why we don't mess with those, because they're not ordained by the Most High. They're contrary, which means they're against, they're forward, they're difficult, they're not proper, man. That's not the proper, correct understanding that the Most High relayed. So therefore, it's something in them that's error, you know. And if you go into the origins of those books, you will find that, once again, pseudepigraphical. They are attributed to certain authors that did not write those books, you know. Now, verse 12, to whom he said, and furthermore, let's get 11 once again, for with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people. What are we speaking in right now? We're speaking in the English or the Spanish, okay? Now, we are Hebrew Israelites, all right? So our main language is Hebrew, but we have to speak in the English because that's what our people are speaking in right now. Or for brothers that speak in the Spanish, that's what our people are speaking in, right? So those are stammering lips and another tongue. You know, we speak to our people how they will understand it, you know? And because it wouldn't make no sense for a brother to come speaking 100% in the Hebrew and you don't understand it. That's not edifying to the flock. That's not edifying to the sheep. That's in a sense. You see certain individuals try to do it, and it's just to boast, right? Ain't it? Now, anything you do speak in the Hebrew, which we've been taught by our elders, when we bring out Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakadash. We break it down to show you and to relate to you what that means. So if you speak in a different tongue, you have to relate what that tongue means. All right? So that's what we do at the beginning of each lesson. We let you know what the Father's name is, the Son's name, and the Holy Spirit. All right? You know, everything else. Hey, brothers do lessons on prayers, and they break it down. You know? So that's how it's properly supposed to be done. All right? So right now, we're speaking to our people in a language that they can comprehend and understand, because that's the most edifying way of delivering this message. You know, even going back, and why they jump in my head, like all these crazy presentations that you may see, from the IUIC or whoever it may be, okay, just using them because they do the presentations where they got all these you know, what's the thing? I don't even. It's like the thing that come in the beginning, and that right there, whatever, you know, that presentation. It's more so like a sitcom, or like a theme, you know, and it gives the people, because our people, man, they fall for flashy lights, okay, flashy lights. They like DD on Dexter's Lab. What does this button do? All right, that's how they move. They like, ooh, you know. So you give Jake that, Jake might fall for it, and they'll forget that this ain't even the proper message. They won't even, they going by the lights, you know. And that's what a lot of these people do, man. Hey, we taught to just bring it out, bro. Just bring it out. You know? Just bring it out. All right, keeping it going. Verse 12, to whom he said, this is the rest wherewith you may cause the weary to rest, and this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear. Now, a rest, not meaning in a physical sense, because what? We still working. We still going to plantation. We still doing all of that. But it's comfortability. Okay, we're being made free by the word. All right, so we're being brought to a position of not being a simpleton, not being in the mindset of these sleepy people, right? That's the title of the lesson is. We're not in that mindset no more. We have been given, made alive, quickened. So we've been brought to a position, a standard that was lifted up, you know. And furthermore, as we grow in this thing, that standard will furthermore grow. As the enemy comes down with great wrath, you'll see, and that's what the elders said yesterday, man. The left-handed side is growing and the right-handed side is also growing. So as they get stronger, we're gonna get stronger. Isaiah 59:19 will support. That's the proper way. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi didn't wake us up to let this devil run rampant upon us. Okay? He woke us up to have us to get busy, man. You know? So, hey, you got to stay in a fervent spirit, stay hot, and stay true, and continue pushing and continue to endure, man. And to the end, Yahawah Ratazah. Right? Because this is a rest, you know? But it's not that rest where we're laying on our beds, you know? Once again, but it's a spiritual rest. You think about when you was in the world, you didn't have no spiritual rest. You was going through this, going through that. You didn't really know, and you didn't know what scriptures to go to. You know, Jesus wasn't, that's not it, bro. You know? But now, the names of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, that's life. That's vitality. Okay? Verse 13, but the word of Yahawah was unto them precept upon precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, that they might go and fall backwards and be broken and snared and taken. So the word is made as a stumbling block to the sleepy people, to the people that can't get it, they can't grow in it. The word is simply a stumbling block at that point, man. Well, we bring it precept upon precept, line upon line, but they say that we playing Hebrew hopscotch. Okay, so therefore, we bring it out the correct way, how it's told, how we're told to bring it out, but then you still have an issue with what the Most High said, you know? All right? And therefore, that means you have an issue with Yahawashi because he taught the same way. What he said all the time, isn't it written? And he would quote a scripture, and then he would elaborate. All right? We teach the same way. This is how you're supposed to do it. Paul did the same thing all throughout the letters. All he's really doing is quoting and bringing to remembrance things that's in the law, right? So precept upon precept, line upon line. This is how you're supposed to bring it out. Nothing is new. It's no new books being written, okay? And reading the Bible just front to back. Yeah. Hey, that's going back. Many books. It's weary, okay? It's not. You know, Jake's attention span these days is 15 seconds or less. You know, so they're not gonna be able to take it in like that. All right. So Yahawah set it up for a way where, furthermore, and it's glorifying him. It's showing that he gave the same spirit to Ezekiel that Jeremiah got. The Holy Spirit is in a unison, right? Where he would bring this out, talking about this situation, and then boom, it's talking about the same situation over here. So that's furthermore magnifying it, you know, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? Get a little bit more over here. 14. Wherefore hear the word of Yahawah, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem, because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, right? And with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Hey, you scornful men of Israel. So 2/3, when this truth has been given, all right, but you have what? You have made a covenant with death. So the body of life, right? You know, you know where to go, but you refuse. You know how to get it, but you refuse. You know what to watch, but you refuse. You know what names to call upon, but you refuse. You would rather call upon JC. You know what I'm saying? You would rather call upon these type of things. But that's no benefit to you. So therefore it's death. It's a covenant with death, man. Right? We're seeking to be placed into that new covenant, that everlasting body. So therefore we have to be purified. Making a covenant with death and all of that, which the 2/3 are constantly doing, that's not purification. You're furthermore defiling the body to new levels of defilement, man. You know, I want to go from there. I want to go to Isaiah 29. I start at 9. Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So, bringing it full circle, anybody that's making a covenant with death and that's taking upon these different philosophies and all of that, you're sleepy. You're in a state of delusion. You're in a state of illusion where you're putting your salvation in something that can't save you. All right? For Yahawah have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes. The prophets and your rulers, the seers, have he covered. These pastors that's in these mega churches, you know, these divination workers, the zodiac signs, these people that's telling you this, they prophesying that. They're not coming in the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. They're prophesying peace, safety, all this type of stuff. No. Alright? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to destroy them, and via you following them, he's going to destroy you. Okay? Hit the comment board a little bit. Alright, hey, Shalawam to my brother Yasharahla, brother out there in Atlanta. And Shalawam to Yakanana. Shalawam, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Barak, Ahtham to both of y'all. Okay? Hey, I'll get that. Ecclesiasticus 3. And where the brother started at 21. Seek not out things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Exactly. You know, stay on the straight and narrow. Okay, don't be going left and right, going this way and this way, seeking this and seeking that, because you're gonna throw it up. Okay, even studying in a sense of too much, you're not gonna retain it all. You gotta. The scripture says in Joshua to meditate upon what you read. So you read a little bit, and then you meditate, you grow, you think on it. You know, you fast and pray on it, and then you do some more. You grow in stages. You don't be haste. I'm not trying to read the Bible in one sitting. I'm not trying to read it and set up. Hey, I'm gonna read the Bible in 2 months. No. Okay, you can read it, but are you comprehending it? This is why breakdowns are done, right? So you meditate on what you just read, and you grow upon that. You know. Verse 22. But what is commanded thee, think thereupon with reverence, for it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes the things that are in secret. What is commanded upon thee? Right now, you got to know, hey, prophecies, man. Occupying prophecies. That's the main thing, right? So we got to occupy in what's taking place. And why would you not? To prophesy is an utmost gift. To know what's about to take place, you know? Right? So that's a major factor. So I want to know when they bringing this C-Hip out, I already know, we know that that's the MOTB. And it's a blessing to even know that, because everybody does not know that, because they are sleepy people. Okay? They can't see it. They're claiming they're woke and all that, but they're asleep. Because they can't see a prophecy that is right in front of their face. And they go forth and take the jab because they couldn't see it. They couldn't recognize it. You know? So even in this sense, you got to throw out of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi every day. Just because you can see that. You can see these things that are taking place, and they're happening in real time. Right? Verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters, for more things are shown unto thee than men understand. You're shown so much. Okay? And it's so much to learn. You can never learn it all. You know, you can never learn it all. And we're constantly gonna be growing and learning, even in the kingdom. Now, no brother is gonna have to teach one another, but it's certain. Hey, you might have to learn. Hey, the math. Think about the math, the way the chariots move, things of that nature. It's gonna be revealed to us, right? We're gonna grow in all of that. So it's at this point in time, I don't want to get caught up on all this unnecessary stuff. Man, how far is the sun from the earth? It don't really matter. It's right there. Alright, it's hot. I feel it. You know? Hey, is the moon a portal, bro? It don't really matter. Now the scriptures does go into these things, but really you gotta be, man, occupied upon prophecy, occupied upon salvation. These are main things. As you grow over time, you'll get all these other type of stuff. Okay? But at this point in time, just occupy in what's necessary. That idle mind, or that weary mind, or that mind that's too damn curious, you know, that's gonna throw you here and there. And that's what happened to our people. Going back to Isaiah 28. All the wine that they was taking in. They wanted to know Astaroth, Baal, the heathens. They were making deals with the heathens, doing this and that, going back and forth with the heathens, and it was destroying us as a people, man. You know, that brother is walking. All right, let's keep it going. 25. Without eyes, thou shalt want light. Profess not the knowledge, therefore, that thou hast not. So to be in that deep sleep is to be blind. To be in that deep sleep, to be in that spirit of slumber, right, is to be blind. Is to be you're to be sleep. I mean, to be in a deep sleep is to be sleep. You know, so you can't see. You're not quickened. You don't see the light. What allows you to see anything in the room? A light in the darkness. You cut on the light, and then you can see. Go in a room, search around, try to find something, and without the light, you're gonna be. You might find it off of you know, you might find it because off of memory, you know, you put it over here, right? But it's gonna take you longer. When you cut the light on, which is Yahawashi, it's easy. It's right there. You see it, right? So you want to be there because that further one bringing it gives you a comfortability too. The light gives you comfort because you cut the light on and you automatically, oh, it's right there. Boom. It's no discussion. It's no, oh, let me step over this. Let me, oh, so I don't trip. Or boom, boom, boom. You know, it's revealed, and that's what's given to us. The truth, the way, the understanding is revealed to us. And that's more so a spirit of prophecy, which is Yahawashi, according to Revelations 19 and 10. You know, so this way is revealed to us. And once again, we were sleepy people at one time in the world. So we couldn't understand it. We couldn't recognize it. I read the Bible, but I couldn't understand it. You know? All right, let's keep it going, man. And the water for them precepts, man, you throwing them up. I'm going to jump down to the bottom, and then we're going to move back to Isaiah 29. I get these last ones. Ecclesiasticus 21 and 11. He that keepeth the law of Yahawah getteth the understanding thereof, and the perfection of the fear of Yahawah is wisdom. The perfection, right? The perfection. and how does perfection come through? Through affliction, through pain, through suffering, through going through something. You are perfected that way. Because we are what? We are refined through that fire. So we are beat down. We are chastised. Right? We got to go through all these obstacles and challenges to get to a perfect way. And that's what? Perfection and purified are synonymous with each other. Right? So we're being purified. But that, you looking at how gold is created. All right? Not gold is created, but how gold, like how a gold chain is made, how gold is smelted down. You're getting all the impurities out of it. You're purifying it. And it gets to a point of 99.9% purification. Right? With all the impurities, the different type of metals are knocked out of it. So that's what we got to get. All that leaven if the whole, you know what I'm saying? So we got to get these distractions, these problems. If it's toxic, if it's changing your character, if it's changing the way that you act, hey, cut it off, bro. You know, if that's not you looking back, you're like, oh, that's not me. No, that's not me, right? I remember, hey, in the military, I joined the military, right? So, bullshit. I never used to cuss. I never used to cuss, drink, or smoke. 18, 17, 16, whatever. I was church boy, country boy, joined the military. You going over here, you going there, you know, peer pressure, all that bullshit. I'm cussing, drinking, and smoking. Because that's the environment of Esau's damn military. And I ain't never left never seen the world. So it's gonna be these distractions and these demons and stuff out here that's gonna fuck with you. You know? So you gotta stay pure. And this truth makes you pure. You know, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is gonna bring you back to that pure state. The world, because that's the wine of Babylon, is gonna try to defile you and destroy you and bring you to a lower state. And you looking back at it, that's not you. It was never you. We, the state, that Esau is in, when our people try to mimic and they try to be like Esau, that's not how you was created to be, Jake. You wasn't created to be wicked. You wasn't created to hate or lie or steal or cheat or do all this stuff towards your brother and your sister. You wasn't created to be like that. We was created to be righteous, man. This devil was created to be wicked. Let him be that. He does it perfect. Every single day, he gonna be it. We wasn't created to be like that. So when we take on the image of that man, hey, you know, that's not acceptable. All right, we'll get some more on that. Brother got some more. Ecclesiasticus 21:12. He that is not wise will not be taught, but there is a wisdom which multiplieth bitterness. Ooh, I like that. The knowledge is a wise man. The knowledge of a wise man shall abound like a flood, and his counsel is like a pure fountain of life. That those living waters which is flowing out of brothers. Okay, it doesn't go away. It continuously comes. It continuously flows. You know, so as Yahawashi said, we shall speak these living waters. We believe in him. So we have been given. It pertains. You know, it pertains to us. It's an ownership, in the sense of he gave it to us because the faith is a gift. So he has given us the greatest gift, to be in his presence is the greatest gift. That's what he's given us. We've been given the gift of life, or the gift of that light, which is him. You know? So you gotta be great. Once again, like I said earlier, you gotta water Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi every day for that light. Because you're walking in that room and you got that light. Now you can see what you came to get. Versus when you used to walk in that room and you can't find, you searching, you done ran into the bed, you done stumped your toe, you know, you couldn't see it before, but now you can see it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Brother got some more on that. All right, 14. The inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel, and he will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth. That fool gonna walk into that room and he gonna hit everything, and he still ain't gonna find the object that he's been seeking for. Romans 11, let's go there. All right, because that's what's jumping out. We seeking and we want to find Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Okay, it's Romans 11 and 5. Even so, then at this present time, also there is a remnant according to the election of grace. So it's a select group of men and women. It's a select group. Okay? So, you know, a preservation. So, someone that has been preserved, where everything around you is going to wither away and die, but you have been preserved. And that's what comes with this too. That empathy and sympathy of the world, nah, you got to let it go. If we walking into this thing and we hope to be of that, then what comes with that is everything else around us fading away. Everything else around us falling off. You know, the only ones that's gonna make it is the ones that are seeking Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man, truly, in spirit and truth, man. You know, so all these other people, your friends, if they didn't never want to get it, they never want to take it in. What can we do for them? We can't save anybody, right? I fell into that before, where loving people too damn much. You love people too damn much, they bound to hurt you, man. If they of the world, you trying to help somebody, and they, you know what I'm saying, they not a righteous individual. So they'll take advantage of you. Can't let nobody out here take advantage of you. You know, so you gotta remember, and that's why in Sirach 12, right? You do good to a godly person. And this may involve your family, your so-called friends, your cousins, etc., etc. All right? Everybody doesn't love you how you love them. Consider that. Everybody don't love you how you love them. That ain't what's gonna be, you know? So you may have all the love in the world for somebody, but they may have 1 ounce of, they don't got no love for you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be gullible out here. All right? Let's get some more of that. Verse 6. And if by grace, then is it no more of works. Otherwise, grace is no more grace. But if it be of works, then is it no more grace. Otherwise, work is no more work. The law is not going to say, okay, we are saved by faith and works. So you show your faith by your works. You grow, you exercise. These are action verbs. These are verbs. So you say you have faith, you got to show it, right? You can't just, oh yeah, I believe, but you never shown your belief. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi respects effort. Okay, it's better to obey than to sacrifice. We want you to do and say and show and prove. All right, verse 7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. We just said blinded. Synonym with sleepy in the spiritual sense. Okay? Because when you're asleep, you can't see. You got your eyes, you can't see. Hey, the thief in the night, Yahawashi is gonna come and he's gonna take everything up out. You know, you gonna wake up in the truth that he's real. That's when they're gonna wake up to the truth that our king has returned. Right? But they were blinded that whole time. You know, so even in that, hey, the water, Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is like the ultimate security system, or the faith. It gives you, it's that security system. When you're occupied, it's occupying, it's alerting you. Prophecy is alerting you. Oh, I see this hopping off the page right now. Iran, you know, aligning with Russia. So that's Ezekiel 38. That's hopping off the page. Your security system, which is the spirit, that faith, that understanding, is going off. Hey, boom, 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 to the prophecy that's taking place, right? So that's what watchmen, you're making that report. The report is being given to you. Now, you got individuals out here, we see it constantly. What are they doing? They're butchering the report. They're, Jeremiah 14, right? They're talking about the sword ain't gonna come, famine not gonna come, pestilence not gonna come, when all those things are coming. So you're a faulty security system. You're not giving the proper understanding. You didn't go off when the intruder broke in, and you destroyed the people that were looking for you to warn them. You're supposed to warn them for Yahawah, warn them for me, as he stated. But if you don't go off when a thief breaks in, you're pointless. So any watchman that's butchering the report, hey, curse be him that uses the word deceitfully, man. All right, let's get a little bit more on that Romans. Verse 8, also according as it is written, Yahawah have given them the spirit of slumber. Sleep, slumber, blinded. Okay, sleepy people. All right. Eyes that they should not see and ears that they should not hear until this day. So we're going to have our people that's not going to get it. They're not going to be able to get it. When are they going to wake up? Hey, Yahawah Ratazah, they wake up beforehand and they come into this truth, because that's what we want. You know, that's what we want. But we understand it has to be a 2/3, according to Zechariah 13:8. You know, and all we can do is pray that we're not a part of that. This is all is a prayer and fasting, man. You know, heavy every single day. And why do Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi that I still can see, that I still have sight, that I'm still quickened, that I'm still awoke. That's constant. King David prayed the same prayer. Take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Take not thy presence from me, loosely quote. All right? So, hey, let's see. Brother got some more on that. 15, Ecclesiasticus 21 and 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add unto it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back. that's showing that the elect, you're going to be in one accord. You're going to be aligning with one another. Right? You got some about people, they'll say something and they don't even know that's the scripture. I'll be like, yo, that's the scriptures right there. What you just said, that's boom, boom, boom. You know, blase, blah. So it's like, and when they know and you tell them it, they be like, oh, word, okay, boom. So it goes to say where spirits just got to be woke up. You got to lead them to the water. You can't make them drink. But if you lead them there, then they can never deny and say that they never got the way. They never got the... No, Yahawah did warn them. You warned them. So therefore the blood is off your hands. All right, let's go back to Isaiah 29. All right, get a little bit more over there. We're going to move on. Okay. And I was at verse 10. For Yahawah hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and have closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers, hath he covered. So going back to, hey, these pastors with these mega churches, you know, these divination workers, these witches, these warlocks, all this type of stuff, okay? They don't have it. They don't understand it, okay? These guys, what's the latest? What's their name? True Nation or something? True Nation, yeah. I saw a lesson Elder did. All right, they calling on Jesus now, okay? That's it right there. All right, they don't got it. Okay? How you a Hebrew Israelite, but you calling on a false name. Yahweh, Yeshua, all that. Okay? So that's evidence that this prophecy is real. That's evidence. Because they don't have it. They have been blinded. They are asleep. Verse 11, and the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book. You just looking at the Bible, but you're not comprehending it. It's just the word. It's just another book. You're just looking at it like you read a newspaper. But this Bible, if you really understand it, it's a weapon. This is the ultimate. This is past, present, future. That's what this is. It's a spiritual weapon. This strengthens us. We read this. It's power. It's the words of our Savior. You know, it's the words of our Father. So this right here, used correctly, you're unstoppable, man. Because everything spiritual is more powerful than carnal, man. But that's what our people in the world don't really understand. Because we'll say it and they'll see no evidence. They always want some foolish, like heal somebody right now, or do this right now, or do that right now. This ain't the time. Okay? When those spiritual powers come, yeah, they're gonna be there. But we're not gonna use them in the foolish sense. Alright? Things are gonna be done purposefully. You're not just gonna do stuff just because. So they're looking at it with a carnal, silly mind. Right? These are serious times. You know? And that's what our people do not consider. That these are serious times, and this book is real. This is a matter of life or death. That's what it is. It's not play time. So we're not out here to play. We're not out here for the distractions. We're not out here to lollygag. You know, it's not no time to coke and joke about this truth, man. All right, keeping it going, verse 12. And, matter of fact, 11 again. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. Now, what's sealed? His mind, his understanding. Okay? Yahawah has sealed many individuals throughout time. He sealed, Nebuchadnezzar was the king. He ruled the present world, you know, the world at that point in time, the known world, okay, under the Babylonian Empire. And then Yahawah sealed him. His understanding had him out there like a donkey, had him out there like a beast, eating grass, eating flowers of the field, and he was no longer in rulership. So he sealed his mind off. Okay? He sealed us for what? 350 years, 3 days and a half, where went into the slavery, all right, Esau ruling over us and all of that, you know, and we didn't have the understanding of this truth. And then he woke us back up. So he can seal you. This is what individuals don't understand. He can seal you and put you in a spirit of deep sleep, as he stated. Who else did he seal? He sealed Esau, put him into the Caucasus Mountains, right? Brought him down from Roman Empire, 476 AD, and then pushed them out into the Caucasus Mountains and other places and brought them low, had them in a caveman mindset. So he sealed their understanding, right? So on top of that point, it brings you to the fact that it's an appointed time for us to wake up. It's an appointed time for us to recognize and understand the words of the book. It wasn't meant for us to get it maybe 10, 20 years ago. It was meant for us to get it when we got it. You know? It's all the will of the Most High. Verse 12, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned. And even on top of that, the learn, he's talking about wisdom of the world. So the seminar schools, you go to this and that, it doesn't matter if you learned or not. Okay? It's just sealed to you. So you can go to college however many times you want, but it's still not going to be revealed because the Holy Spirit is not dealing with you. You're sealed off. You're blocked. And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I am not learned. Wherefore Yahawah said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips do honor me, but have removed their heart far from me, and their fear towards me is taught by the precept of men. And that was continued. You look at the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Essenes. What else? You got all them Shanies, you know? You had many different sects, okay? There's them dudes, I think that was the Essenes. They would just go off and live in the wilderness. All right? You had all these different sects. And that's similar to denominations. They was taking the word and they was dividing it and living this way. The Sadducees didn't believe in resurrection, reincarnation, or none of that. Okay? Pharisees did, right? You know, so you have all these different denominations. That's all it is. Okay? So those precepts of men, different traditions. It's not the ways of not the ways of Yahawah and Yahawashi. Because going back, it's only one faith. It's only one truth. It's right here. Right? It's right here. It ain't no private interpretation. Okay? As the scripture states. You hit the comment board a little bit more and then we're going to keep it moving. I know this brother throwing them up, man. My brother throwing them up. I get that Isaiah 8. Isaiah 8:16. Bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples. And I will wait upon Yahawah that hideth his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. He hideth his face. Right? He doesn't reveal himself. He hid. It wasn't time. Now he reveals himself at an appointed time. So everything is done in a certain way. It's a certain order that it was deemed to go about. You know? Even knowledge. When Daniel, Ezra's getting the knowledge, what happened most of the time? They had to fast, they had to pray, and then even after they got it, they were weak. Because it was so deep. It was so intense. You seeing Jeremiah saw the world being destroyed, man. You know, he saw the nukes come down. Ezra saw these things as well, you know. So this is intense. You're seeing billions, you know, of people being destroyed. You're seeing all of this. All right? Think about when you have a dream, man. Okay? Some of those dreams, I know myself, I done woke up from a dream like, yo, you might have died in the dream, okay? Or something like that. Or you got saved and you wake up because it's so intense. So This is what we seeing. So everything can't be revealed at one time. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi brings things out. We prophesy in part, we know in part. Right? Let's get some more of that. 18, Isaiah 8 and 18. Behold, I and the children whom Yahawah have given me are for signs and for wonders in Israel from Yahawah of hosts which dwelleth in Mount Zion. The men on the streets prophesying, preaching, that's a sign to you. Okay, what? The sign of Jonah, as Yahawashi said, you want a sign, I'm gonna give you a sign. Men coming and prophesying, telling you this. Prophets of doom. Whatever you want to call them. Alright? Hey, eclipse. Remember how these Babylonians, these heathens was raving over the eclipse? Not knowing that that's a sign of death to come to your nation. But they're blind. It's not even meant for them. But even our own people was out there with glasses, looking up. Oh, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. You know? Even our own people, because they don't consider Isaiah 1 and 3. They don't know their owner. So in these heathenistic practices, in these ways that these individuals, you know, honor and reverence, our people are fell into that. Therefore, they are what? They are heathens themselves, man. Not natural born heathens, but heathens in the ways and the affairs that they carry their life. Right? How you carry yourself. What you believe in. You have, and they denounce their heritage. You denounce your heritage, man. That's crazy. Alright? But, going back, as we're doing in the whole lesson, they are sleepy people. They haven't been given that understanding. They haven't been, Yahawah has put them into that position because of their incredulity, their unbelief. They never cared. There was no love. If somebody don't love you, is you gonna give your all for them? No. That's foolishness. You know? Alright, let me see. Anything over here? I'll leave it right there. I got some more. Alright. Let me see. I got some more precepts. Yeah, let's go to that second. That's okay. But hey, I ain't even know through the spirit I've been out here an hour. I'm like, yo. But the water Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. You just gotta keep moving. And don't get complacent. I would say that too. In the spirit, don't get complacent. Where you just think you just gonna have the spirit forever. You're not. You want to stay on edge. Alright, where you every single day you putting forth that same effort. Okay? You putting forth that same effort and staying on fire. As the elder said, you know, yesterday, you stay on fire, man. Alright? According to your measure. Right? That's important. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Start at 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders. So this Edomite is after the work. He does the works of Satan. Okay? He's the physical counterpart. Right? Down here. You know, Satan is righteous, if you understand that. Like, he's doing what the Most High wants him to do. So everything he's doing, the Most High told him to go forth and do that and do this and do that and do that. Right? So Esau he's created to be wicked. So therefore, he's doing what he's supposed to do. You know, because you have the spiritual demon Satan. Let's not get that confused. And then you have Esau Edom, which is Satan, the devil, that old serpent, and that dragon. Alright? So all these fowls, the fowls and all that type of stuff that's coming out, hey, it's far worse. We know it's far worse than what we're hearing about. You know, this is just the tip of the iceberg, as they say. Right? And I would think that the sleepy people would be woken up by But, because what? Because y'all don't believe us when we say it, but when a YT person tells you it, then you believe, because, oh, a white man said it. So he telling you what he doing. Are you going to believe now? No. Because once again, they in the spirit of deep sleep. They don't care. So him coming after the workings of Satan, they still not going to recognize. They still going to run to this man for their pharmaceuticals, their health, their wine, their knowledge, their understanding. They're still going to run to this man and indulge in everything that he's selling to them. Verse 10, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. They receive not the love of the truth. Opportunity was given, open, you rejected it. Hosea 4 and 6. Alright? Lack of knowledge, that's not real no more. But rejection of knowledge, that's real. Right? Knowledge is right here. It's everywhere. Internet, hey, YouTube, you see Great Millstone dropping every single day, man. Okay? You got over 1 million videos coming out a year. Okay? Brothers bringing it out, bringing it out, bringing it out. The prophets are back. You know, that's a fact. Okay? So, lack of knowledge really ain't there. You know, you can research. Library is free. Library card free. Books, check out books, that's free. You know, it's there. I mean, anything you want to know, it's all there. It's not on the surface. Yeah, you may have to dig a little bit, but hey, that's fun. I like the research. So that's for me though. But it's coming out of that sense of being. You don't want to be lied to. You know. You don't want nobody to lie to you. So you should put a little bit of effort into being diligent, because the scriptures tells you that, to be diligent, to search out a matter. Right? So when you're learning about this truth and you're learning who you really are, that right there should ignite you, man. That fire. Right? But as we see, let's read this one more time. And we're all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, power shall send them strong delusion. They didn't want to receive it. So they didn't care about who they really were. They were content with being African Americans, with being Haitians, with being Mexicans, with being Cubans, all right, with being Jamaicans, Trinidadians. They was content with these names, with these bywords. They got pride in all of this. They got pride in being proud to be an American. They proud to be an American. You know? They're aligned with the beast system, with the ways of this white man, you know, and with the ways of these heathens. Because you have Israelites in foreign nations as well, and they're indulging in you know, aligned with all the ways and the practices of these heathens. You got Israelites in India. A lot of Israelites in India, they Hindu. They might have put dots on their head and all of that. You know? They worshiping Lord Shiva. Even you Jakes right now over here in America with them Shiva Jata dreads. Alright, them dreadlocks. You know? You worshiping a false god. Alright, you worshiping a false god. If you don't realize it. Verse 11, and for this cause power shall send them a strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So going back to it, point blank period is like, do you want to be lied to or not? You search and you study because you want to make sure you got it, that 100%. You don't want to be lied to out here. That they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. Who have pleasure in the ways of the world, the wickedness of the world, these things that are done in the world. Alright, Super Bowl, what's that shit? Super Bowl, the individual, Bad Bunny, right? You enjoy, you know, these all these rituals, because that's all it is rituals. The Oscars, the Grammys, the Emmys, the BET Awards, these are rituals, satanic in nature. And you love it. And y'all ain't see, Kendrick got another award. He's the damn, what's the Oscar? That go back to like some Hermetic false god. I did a lesson on it a couple years ago, All right, let's go to Proverbs 6:1. And then the origins of all these things, even the Valentine's Day, origins, Lupercalia, right? Once you start going into the origins of these things, being diligent, studying, because you don't want to be lied to, right? Then you start realizing what's really going on. And that right there, it's like we bringing out what's sleepy people. Okay, they sleep. What's the solution? It's to be diligent. It's to research. It's to seek Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's the solution. This is Proverbs 6. And we'll start at the top. My son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with a stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth, thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself and make sure thy friend. You prove an individual. Okay? And that comes over time, experiences, all right, dealing, growing, because you don't want to fellowship with unrighteousness. You don't want to fellowship with something that's going to lead you off. All right? Look at Yahawashi. He proved, well, he already knew through the Spirit who his apostles was. Right? so that's not a really good example. But the fact is, they still had to go through trials. They still had to go through these things. They had to be proven. All the apostles, other than John, and John still went through it. They died gruesome deaths. Now John the Revelator, he got thrown into a pot of boiling water, and came out. They couldn't kill him, and that's the spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So he still had to go through it. And that's in sense. Yeah, Yahawashi is not there in the physical, he's still proving them. So they had to be proven through the works and through the faith. They had to be tried, right? We have to be tried the same way. We're going to go through many tests. We are being proven as friends of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He called us friends in, it's that John 15, I believe. So we are being proven. So he's going to put you through a test after test after test. You may not pass them all. All right? You may fail 1 or 2. Just don't fail them consistently. All right? And bounce back. Bounce back, and you continue to grow, you continue to get better. And you go over the answers that you didn't pass. You go over the answers that you got wrong. So you can improve in that area, because that's showing you your flaws. And you just simply improve. Like, look at I'm looking at the league, man. I ain't watched ball in a minute, but okay, Kobe. All right, Kobe, easy one, right? Kobe came in dunking on everybody. Older years, what he had to do? He had to work on shooting. He was a better shooter. He shot better, so he worked on that as a flaw. You see players, they work. You work on what is not your strength. Your strength may be this and that, but your flaw may be this and that. So you gotta go and touch on that to bring that up. You wanna be all around, And And that goes back to the whole baby thing, or the bright lights. Don't fall to this type of distraction. Hey, Satan gonna try to get you if you open to him, he gonna try to come and take you, regardless. He coming every single day, man. He wants you. He's seeking for you. Yahawashi told Peter, man, Satan desireth to sift you like wheat. He wants you. You gotta fight back. Get your guard up. Keep your guard up. Don't let your guard down. If you get hit, hey, come back harder. Know that left hook is coming, so you gotta dodge. Dodge next time. Verse 4, give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. Now, does that mean you just gonna sit here and never go to sleep? No. That means that you're not gonna be like those sleepy people. You're gonna be diligent, you're gonna study, you're gonna grow. You know, you're gonna stay awake, you're gonna seek that light. Going back into that room, you walk into that room, you're gonna cut on the light. So you're not gonna move around here sleeping. You know what's going on. We know what's going on. That's the thing, like, you got to know, you in the know of the world, what's the latest fashion and all that bullshit. That shit don't matter, but this truth matters. We know what's going on. We are in the know. Just how you have the elite, all right? The Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Collins, Astor, DuPonts, etc., etc. They are the know. They know what's going on in the sense of, in their worldly wisdom and all that bullshit. All right, what they're about to try to do to the world. Okay, Georgia Guidestones, you know, be free, you know, you should have nothing, own nothing, and be happy, etc., etc. So they know the plans that they have. But we are the utmost know. We are the utmost elite. Because we know that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi is going to bring y'all down. He's going to bring y'all low. Everything that y'all conspired to bring forth, it's not going to work. So, give not sleep to thy eyes, nor slumber to thy eyelids. We not sleep. We are occupying in prophecies, so we know what's about to take place. Occupying, occupation, your job. Your job is to know what's going on. That's your job, to know what's going on. Verse 5, deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler, to escape. As a roe, as a deer. We escape that arrow about to hit us, about to strike us and to kill us. All through what? Through the strength and power of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. That's how we escaped. Not through our own means. A deer, look at a deer. You know how a hunter, you come and you trying to catch him, and that's how Satan moves. He trying to catch you in a covert manner. He trying to catch you off guard. But we that deer that we hear the footsteps, and we take off. We gone. You know? So the wiles of the devil are not going to work upon us. He's trying to deceive us. And his deceit is a good deceit. If it was possible, it may deceive the very elect. But it's not possible. So therefore, we won't fall for the traps. AI is heavy. AI is increasing every single day. You know, you got Palantir, you got AI, you got Meta, you got all this type of stuff. The data centers, okay, they're doing nothing but gathering information and information and information. That's all they're doing to further their system, their digital system, which they're about to bring upon this planet. Okay, but we're not going to be deceived by all these means that they're going to bring forth. So AI is going to be a heavy weapon. I know that a lot of individuals are going to fall off of it, man. You know, you might, your grandma or somebody might call you, baby, this you? This you doing this? Because they will plaster the prophets' faces up on the TV, on this, wanted posters, boom, boom, boom. The same way that they did the apostles of old, man. This is the book of Acts, once again, going through it. being as pilgrims upon the earth, being on the run but ain't do nothing wrong, being tried 10 days in prison but you ain't do nothing wrong. And 10 days meaning a perfect time, a time, you know, it could be months, a year, whatever, weeks, but Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is going to bring you up out of that. So that's going back to these trials, this refinement, stuff, persecution that we got to go through. Right? Verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. The ant is constantly moving, working. The ant is thinking about months away, you know? And that's our mindset. Philippians 3:20. All right? Our conversation is in heaven. Okay? So we're thinking about the next life. We're not thinking about what's going on right now. All right? We're recording and all of that, but we already out of Babylon. Okay? Spiritually, we not, you know, I don't care about all this bullshit that's going on. Okay? What down here is gonna save you? What down here is worth dying for? Ask yourself that question. What down here? You know? It goes into forsaking everything that's down here. And seeking and putting everything in Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That doesn't mean that you're just gonna let your family fuck your family or nothing like that. No, you gotta take care of your family. Okay? And seek first the kingdom of heaven. Right? All these other things will be given unto you. So if you forsake everything else and you seek Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, he's going to protect you and take care of you and your family. We are evidence of that, man. You look at brothers got kids upon kids, you know, taken care of. So Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is a man of his word. He's dealing with us. He's protecting us through whatever we go through. Right? So be as the ant. Think about what's next. That ruling class mentality. This ain't it. This ain't our rest. Micah 2:10. It will destroy you with a sword of destruction. You putting your faith in this, it's going to destroy you. It's going to bring you low. This way of living ain't how we were meant to live. Working, going to work. You know, you working to pay for, you paying for a car that gets you to work. You got to go to work to get money to pay for that car that gets you to work. It's a cycle of ignorance. And it's no peace. Verse 7, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Proverbs 1:20 speaks upon the same thing. And I'm going to get the comment board. I know it's probably some comments on there. You know, it's locked. But how long will you sleep? Stay awake. Wake up. Be diligent. How to get back to that? To seek the words, the voice of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Where is that found? With the prophets. With his men that he has raised up. That's where that's found. Right? That's how you're going to come up out of that sleep. By hearing and understanding and growing in that truth, which he has given to this world via his men. You know? It's that VIP. It's that section that's important. That's the only one that matters. The rest of the, you know, in a VIP or whatever, look at it like a pizza. The rest of the pizza is destroyed, but that one piece is left. That's the elect. That's the remnant. Right? That's the most important piece. The rest of the pizza, it got pepperoni, ham, shrimp. It got all this bullshit on it. But that one pizza is undefiled. It's pure. And that's the one that you should have been eating. Because all that other stuff, it destroys you. Ham, all that pork, lobster, crab, shrimp, shellfish, all that bullshit, it destroys you. Right? And it's unclean. So the elect, the remnant, the hopeful elect, is they clean, they're purified, they're virgins, they're undefiled. Right? All right, let me get some precepts, man. Okay. Start at Psalms, brother got Psalms. Psalms 103 and 20. Bless Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, ye, his angels that excel in strength, that do his commandments, hearkening unto the voice of his word. Bless ye Yahawah, all ye his hosts, ye ministers of his that do his pleasure. Right. That's us down here. All right, and he's sending angels to relay, and everybody got a spirit on them in a sense. He can send a spirit of vengeance upon an individual and have them, you know, them mass pew-pews and all that. Those are spirits of vengeance coming forth upon this place. You know? So Yahawah sends forth these spirits to work. And then he also sends forth the Holy Spirit. He has his angels minister. He has his angels surround and protect to prepare a way. Oh man, every time when we fought back in the day, he would fight with us. Okay? You look at Gideon, you look at Joshua, these are spiritual encounters, supernatural. To walk around Jericho, right? And then for the walls to crumble down and fall, it's a supernatural encounter. But it had to be done. The order that it was given had to be done the proper way, in the correct way. So Yahawah sends it, he sends things to be done a certain way, a proper way, a correct way, right? So we are supposed to do this. We are supposed to preach and teach because that was commanded, to follow these commandments. Things that are told, right? Bid them to the marriage. A lot of individuals drive by, don't never care, just walk by like we not here, you know? Cool, but did we come out here and bid them to the, yeah, we did. So you can't say when the nukes is coming down, you can't say that we didn't have no warning. You can't say we didn't know what was going on. You can't say that. There's no possible way to say that when every weekend, every day, it was there for you, right? Let's keep it going. 22, bless Yahawah, all his works in all places of his dominion. Bless Yahawah, O my soul. See if thou a man diligent in his business. He shall stand before kings. He shall not stand before mean men. Diligent in his business. Caring about what you're doing. Not having no error. Being blameless men. Being perfect. You know, seeking these things out. And bringing it out correctly, man. Right? You can do 100,000 videos and they not be edifying. So it's about doing that one that's proper and correct and edifying to the T. You know? Alright? Let's see what else the brother got. You know, the brother got something always. I get this second address. Second address 9 and 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were coming to it. And I saw and spreaded it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept, and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Exactly. All right? The elect, the remnant, the hopeful elect. Okay? So you, going back into them, they say God is love and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Hey, he has deemed a certain individuals, certain group of people to be destroyed, to be took away. And yeah, they're going to come back, reincarnation, regeneration. But then furthermore, down the line, these Edomites, which were created to be wicked, that's their purpose, all right? Psalm 17 and 13, Proverbs 16 and 4, right? So they have been created for the purpose of being wicked. They will ultimately be destroyed. They are a nation that was created to come forth and be really a challenge to us and to refine us, to going back to what we said earlier is like if you didn't go off, if you didn't mess up, if you didn't fall, then would this really be a hard walk? If the flesh wasn't, you know, Paul had to fight the flesh. Yahawashi had to fight the flesh. Satan came and tried to give him everything. Hey, you want this, you want that, I give you all of this, I give you all of that. Just bow down. But he had to fight it. Right? David had to fight it. Jeremiah had to fight it. Ezekiel, Elijah. You know? That's what makes, quote unquote, the human experience, right? A human experience. In a biblical term, the terrestrial experience. You know? Where this is not a perfect body. This is not an everlasting body. This is a body that is subject unto sin. Right? The glory of the terrestrial is a different glory. The glory of the celestial is a different glory. Angels don't have to fight the flesh. You know, the Halalyam in the sky, they can't no angel, in a sense, go against the decree which Yahawah brought out. Right? And look at what King David did when he numbered our people. Yahawah placed that upon him to do that, to go off. You know? So, or going back to Adam, where the seed was planted in him for him to mess up. You know, to get us into this position right now. So, to summarize it, it's like, yo, you gotta go through something to learn, right? So take every L as a lesson. At the end of the day, if you didn't go through anything, what would you learn? Would you come out with any type of knowledge? No, because you're not taking and pulling the weeds up out of that field that you're planting. But once you begin to pour those weeds out of that field that you're planting and stuff begins to sprout, it has more room to grow. So the more that you get these distractions and this fat off the bone, all of this type of stuff, right? The more that righteousness can grow. All right. Let me see. Brother got some more on that, and then I get back. Nah, that's it. All right. Let's keep it going. Proverbs 6. And was that 10? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thou poverty come as one that travaileth, and thou want as an armed man. Sleepy people, going back to the topic, where these people may be asleep, they may have it all though. You're asleep spiritually, but you got the cars, you got the clothes, you got the houses, you got this and that, boom, boom, boom. Okay, you're in a sense balling or whatever you want to state, you know. But ultimately, you're poor in spirit, right? So that sleep is going to lead you to poverty. It's going to lead you to a life undesired. It's going to lead you to a destination undesired, which is the ICBM missiles, the hellfire, you know? So that sleep, it affects you. If a man don't work, a man don't eat. It's eventually going to catch up because you haven't been putting your foot towards the plow. So when you go to reap the benefits, you're going to find you have nothing to reap because you never planted anything. Or you might have thought you planted, you thought you planted enough, but come to find out, hey, you always want to plant more. So if some crops don't make it, right, bugs or whatever, take to them, rabbits get them, whatever, you still got more, you know? So you want to over prepare in that sense. All right? So it's no complacency. Yeah, I did my 3 videos. All right, that's it, I'm done. No, you want to do more. Why wouldn't you? Because that's the love for Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Showcase your love, man. Right? Let's get a little bit more. Let me see. Some more on that. Yeah, 12. A naughty person, a wicked man walketh with a froward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Frowardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief continually. He soweth discord. Therefore shall his calamity come suddenly. Suddenly shall he be broken without remedy. So these sleepy people who they don't care about the truth. They speak forward. Right? The thief of the night is gonna come suddenly. Right? So as it says, their calamity shall come suddenly. It's all speaking about Yahawashi coming to destroy this place. Right? And redeem his people to get us up out of here. So all that sleeping, all that not caring about what's going on, when the men that are sent, their occupation is to know what's going on, and you didn't care to hear what they was telling you, then it's gonna backfire. It's gonna hit you harder than a pound of bricks, man. You know, it's really gonna hit you hard because you should have listened when you had the opportunity. Sirach 5 and 12, 5 and 7. All right, don't tip, man. Let me go to the phone. Go to the phone for the rest. Let's go to Sirach. Five and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to Yahawah, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of Yahawah come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. There goes that word again. Suddenly. That thief in the night. Right? Suddenly. This stuff is going to fall suddenly. When these prophecies begin to roll, how they are now, it ain't going to take too long. You know? Lord willing, Yahawah Ratazah, this be the last Basak. Be the last Passover. Alright? Until we get into the kingdom. This be the last Passover in these foul bodies. We pray that. You should pray for this place to be destroyed, man. You know? Let's move from there. Let's go to Romans 11 and 5. And I get them precepts. Brother got, okay. Hebrews 12 and 22. But ye are come unto Mount Zion, and unto the city of the living power, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels. You can't even fathom. Alright? It's angels watching every single day. The eyes of Yahawah are what? 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Okay? So, hey, Esau trying to mimic it with the AI, the phones, the data centers. He's trying to track. He's using all this type of stuff to be like the Most High. But it's impossible. Right? But he's going to try. And Yahawah has given him these ways and these things to be like the Most High. He's given him these situations. You know, these that mindset to create the atomic bomb, nuclear bomb, hydrogen bomb, all these weapons, right? Yahawah has allowed him to do that, right? And then it's furthermore been a trick bag since the beginning, because he's going to bring him down with those things that he's created. You love the nuclear bomb and you rule by it, but you're going to be brought down with it, you know? So the thing that you boasted in having is what's going to take you out. Okay? 23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to power, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. We was a family in the heavens before we was even down here. All right? The firstborn, which is pertaining to the you know, first fruits, the elect. Okay, the general assembly and the church of the firstborn. So that's the hopeful elect, the remnant, which are written in heaven, and to power, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect, right? Made complete, having our minds, bodies, souls towards Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You know, and continually growing and continually shining, continually increasing in His truth. 24. And to Yahawashi, the mediator of the new covenant, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel. because it's never gonna fade. We're never gonna be a fading flower like we was in Isaiah the 28th chapter. You know, we're never gonna fall off. Alright? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no retirement. it ain't none of that. Alright, so an everlasting covenant, it's a better covenant. Hebrews 7 speaks upon it too. You know, where the Levitical priesthood no longer under that, but more so under the order of Melchizedek, Malak Tazadok, being where the heathens is going to bring us 10th, you know, to be priests and to be kings, to be rulers, all right? So it's a better way, right? It's a better way of living. 25, see that ye refuse not him that speaketh, for if they escaped not who refused him that spake on earth, much more shall not we escape if we turn away from him that speaketh from heaven. And hey, that's beautiful to the point of what we was talking about. They refused the message. They refused those that occupy and what's going on to occupy in prophecy. So you cast it off like it doesn't matter. Like what we say has no effect. But that's the foolishness of preaching at the end of the day too. You know, so let it be. It's prophecy. And we serve him through this foolishness of preaching. So we're made a fool amongst the world, right? But in the eyes of the Most High, in the eyes of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, we're doing what he commanded us to do. And that's how you gotta be. You can't really care what the world is thinking, what your brother, your sister, your mother, all them is caring about. You gotta serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You know? You're not here for the appeal of men. Okay? In that sense. An appeal of the world more so. Skip 26. We get 27. And this word yet once more signifieth the removing of those things that are shaken, as of things that are made, that those things which cannot be shaken may remain. Wherefore we receiving a kingdom which cannot be moved, let us have grace whereby we may serve power acceptably with reverence and godly fear. A kingdom what? That cannot be moved. So you talk about Gog and Magog is chilling, they gonna come. No, a kingdom that cannot be moved, right? Everlasting is everlasting. It's ongoing. We shall take the kingdom, man. So anybody talking about that somebody's gonna come and take our kingdom, hey, they sleepy people. You sleep. You know, they sleep at the end of the day. Because nobody's gonna come and take. Ain't nobody messing with Yahawashi. Okay? Ain't nobody. So the saints shall take the kingdom forever. They shall possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever, ever, ever. You know? It ain't no ending to that. Alright? I get that one and I'm gonna go back. 2 Corinthians 7:1. Having therefore these promises, dearly beloved, let us cleanse ourselves by washing of the word from our filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of Yahawah. Perfecting holiness. Right? Now let's go to Romans 11. Actually, we got to Romans 11 earlier. It came out. So let me see what else I got, man. We gonna get Sirach 33. Okay. And we about done. We about done. The water for all them precepts. We're locking up the water. The water. Sirach 33:11. In much knowledge, Yahawah hath divided them and made their ways diverse. Right? So you look at everything. You look at the duality of things. And Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter speaks upon it more so. Is you got different seasons for everything. You got a time to live, a time to die, a time for war, a time for peace. All right, a time, you know, you got a time for sorrow, a time for laughter, a time for everything. Right? Now we are in a time of war. Okay? The spirit of war has been given to these heathens, where, hey, these fouls and all this type of stuff, the misuse of funds in the government, right? You got a lot of stuff that's coming out, how they've been misusing all these non-profit organizations, where a non-profit organization, like a 501c and stuff like that, is sponsored by the government. And they just give these groups money upon money upon money. And they don't really check on the money, you know? So you got all these hospice down in LA where you got these people, they've been saying they've been using it to make hospices and all of that, but they haven't been really taking care of the homeless. They haven't been giving beds out and stuff. They've just been using the money to live rich. All right? Esau been scamming, man. He's the greatest scammer. Right? Yeah, Jake be scamming, but Esau is he brings the greatest scam. Right? So all this type of stuff is coming out. It's been in the news, but nobody cares about it really. But she's being made bare. All the wickedness of this place is being shown. Right? So just saying that to say is like, you got righteousness against wickedness. That's just since the beginning of time. Okay? And Yahawah has devised all of that. He has set all that up with the left-handed side and the right-handed side. Right? Some of them have he blessed and exalted, and some of them he sanctified and set near himself. But some of them have he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. Okay? Sleepy people, man. Our people that are asleep and they don't care, he hasn't dealt with them. He has cursed them. As the clay is in the potter's hand. Exactly. To fashion it as his pleasure. Yahawah, Bahasham Yahawashi, has molded and created whatever he wanted to. Okay? Yahawashi did all of that via Yahawah. And that's in Colossians, the 1st chapter, starting around 13, going downward, where he created principalities, spirits, whether they be visible or invisible, thrones, dominions, powers, everything. Us, the people. Okay? So, everything has been set forth before, in the beginning. How do you write a book? How does the book get written page by page, in a sense of where the reader is reading the book and the page getting written, the next page is no. The whole book is written beforehand and then it's published. So the whole story was written beforehand in the heavens, all right, and we're just living it out. The same with a movie, because this is a movie. This you have a script, so we're just living the script out. You know, so the villains are already set up. You know, you already got the good guys are already set up for us to go into this place, to go into captivity after captivity after captivity. That's already been set up for us to be redeemed. That already been set up, right? It's like once you fathom and understand there's no free will and you're already living, you're living what was written. I believe life gets easier. You know? Because going back to it, you have an occupation to know. You know it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen, boom, boom, boom. And you just wait. You just wait. You gotta go through this, go through that. You're gonna be up, you're gonna be down. You're gonna, you know, it's gonna happen. Roller coaster ride, right? But you got Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi now. Without Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, it's like being on a roller coaster without the seatbelt. Your ass gonna get thrown off. But when you got Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, you tucked in, you safe, you know, you safe, even though you going up and you going down, and you know, you getting your ass kicked, but you got that protection, you got that strong tower. Proverbs 18:10, you know, let's keep it going. Verse 12, some of them hath he blessed and exalted, some of them he sanctified and set near himself, but some of them hath he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places. As the clay is in the potter's hand, we read it again, to fashion it at his pleasure. So man is in the hand of him that made him to render to them as likeneth him best. What is that? He has compassion on who he will have compassion on, you know. And furthermore, in Isaiah, he does all his pleasure. So we are at the will and mercy of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All right. If he wants you to be in this thing and stay in this thing, he's gonna keep you in it. If he wants you to be in this thing and set you apart and throw you out, he's gonna do that. All you can do, man, is pray, fast, all right? Commit thy works so that he may establish your thoughts. Proverbs 16:3. You know, so live it. You gotta really live it. All right? Verse 14, good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. Hey, it's what we stated. The villains are already created. The good guys are already created. All right, the elect, all right, versus the so-called elites, which is, you know, your banking families versus the men of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That's ultimately it all, because these are the controlling, right? Because by them attacking us, they trying to hurt Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. That's why precious is the blood in the sight of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. So he cares for his hopeful elect. He cares for his people, you know? And they try to hurt us and afflict us and do all of this so they can, in a sense, hurt him or whatever. That's why the elders been saying, yeah, they showing you these EP files, but what did they do to the Jake children, man? All right, well, what's up with that? You know, that's why we only get into a tip of the iceberg, man, of really everything that's been going on. Okay, so much more that has to come out, so much wickedness that has to come out, and it's gonna get to the point. Salaki, it was reconnected. I pray the sound is good. I pray the sound is good. All right, but like I was saying, we at a tip of everything. It's so much more that's gonna come out. It's gonna get to a point where the devil gonna be like, hey, I did it, so what? What you wanna do? What you wanna do about it? What can you do? What you gonna do? You gonna go protest? What you gonna do? You gonna go protest it? That ain't the right way. You're supposed to wait upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, man. You can't really do nothing. All right? This is the best that you can do. Is seeking Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and waiting upon him. There's a little bit more in here. Good is set against evil and life against death. So is the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. So look upon all the works of the Most High, and there are 2 and 2, one against another. All right, hey, the water. Okay? And that's how it is. It's a story. That's how the story's been since the beginning. No? Hey, we're going to end it over in Matthew 10. Matthew 10, start at 35 to 39. And it reads, I started 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. So, it ain't going to be no peace right now at this point in time. Yahawashi is coming to what? He's coming to bring, as we just read, good against evil, righteous against wicked. That's what he's coming to do. If a wicked individual falls into your family, then that's just what it is. You have no control over who is wicked or righteous. You know? You don't. So all you can do is pray and hope. Even your kids can't really do nothing. Just pray and hope and show them the correct way. Now, if they meant to be wicked, then they're going to be wicked. If they meant to be righteous, they're going to be righteous. But if you show them the correct way, train up a child in the proper way, and you did your part, right? Hey, that's the same with, we look at elders, because our elders are what? Spiritual fathers. Okay? So, teach a brother all day, but if the brother it's not really getting to him, it's, you know, he ain't, then it is what it is. That's not your fault, right? That's just how Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has set it up. Okay? For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Your family, friends, tribe, nation, whatever. You know, Jake ain't in a position right now. You only really see it between the elect, because all that other stuff is off. You look at these dudes. Look at the dudes in the music industry. Alright, the young thugs and the young boys and all. It's always beef, even in their so-called camps. You got beef. You watch that, the Cash Money, No Limit. What is it? A Union versus mess. I'm gonna let it pass. But you look at that versus, and they was beefing amongst each other. Alright, Lil Wayne didn't show up. Turk dude didn't show up. So that's showing you the world is turmoil. It's wickedness. It's no unity. Where do you find unity? Amongst the elect, amongst the brotherhood. Alright, and it's truth. That's who's gonna come together, not the world. Your neighbor, Bob, he might turn on you, man. He ain't in the truth. He don't care. I gotta take care of my family, man. So, hey, I need all your food in your fridge. Boom. When you can no longer go to your McDonald's, you can no longer go to your grocery stores, you can no longer get food out of these places, people are gonna be turning left and right and robbing one another, spoiling one another. As it says in 2nd Esdras, the 15th chapter. Okay, so you can't trust these people in the world. I don't care how long you knew them. You can't trust them. Alright? And it goes furthermore back to not being gullible. And not just putting your faith in every brother that's calling on Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay? Because, okay? Hey, time, proven friend. Over a number of years, man, time. You gotta go through stuff, you know what I'm saying? Alright, let's keep it going. Let me see what the brother got on the comment board. Isaiah 9:8. Yahawah sent a word into Jacob, and it hath lightened up upon Israel. This word, this truth, once again, it's our light. Proverbs 6:23. The law, alright, is the lamp. Okay, at the end of the day. So Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has lit us up. Okay? He's showing us the truth. He's guiding our paths. You know? Jeremiah 50:28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yahawah, our power, the vengeance of his temple. Right? So, flee out of this place, man. We're declaring and we're calling upon Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. We're not calling upon Jesus, Yahweh, Yeshua, all these names that you were given in this wicked place. We're from the past. Alright? We're not of this. We're of the old past. You know, our customs and our culture is not of something that you would learn in America. It's not taught in the school system. You're not going to learn in the school system the scriptures. You're not going to learn in the colleges the scriptures. You're not going to learn in the way, you know, the ways of our people in these school systems, man, these colleges, these universities, where your so-called top scholars are. What's that dude that was in the wheelchair? Stephen Hawking, man. This nigga don't know the Bible. He said it was no God. But look at his ass. Hey, man, it is what it is. blaspheme. Yo, wicked ass Edomite, man. That's what they is. So he was supposed to be the top notch. He's a genius, but he don't know Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So he's a goofy. The wisdom of the world is nothing, man. Hey, Shalawam to the brother Kakma, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Alright? So back to Matthew 10 and 35. Actually 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Right? You look at Jonathan and David, friends, close friends, and I'm gonna do a breakdown on it. You know, later this week, Yahawashi, right? But still, you may love a brother to the point, hey, you love that brother, but you still don't love him more than Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You know? So, you put nothing before Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi at the end of the day, man. That's what it is. You don't. Your wife, your kids, your family, you know what I'm saying? It ain't no, because you go back to these goofies, if you say, you put a brother over, then it would go to what them goofies said, brotherhood over break. No, nigga. Brotherhood over breakdowns? No. No. Alright? They was going off by saying that. 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. The challenges and the problems that you got to go through. We all going through something, right? You may be dealing, you know, I mean, brothers is going through it, all right? Brothers be going through it, and I know it. You know what I'm saying? We may not talk about it all. It is what it is, but everybody's going through it. So it's not no difference. Everybody got a cross. So you can't come with an empathy, sympathy spirit like, man, I'm the only one going through it. No, you're not. You're not. Alright? Everybody getting their ass kicked, man. For real, for real. You know what I'm saying? So, be like the men before you. You're walking into other men's labors. They went through it before you. You go through it just like they went through it. Nothing's changing. You can't reinvent the wheel. It ain't no, hey, I found this way, so we don't have to go. No. No? It ain't no other way. It's only one way through the sheepfold. Alright? Come up a different way, you're a thief and a robber. It's only one way. It ain't no, hey, I found we can take the 5013C, bro, and we'll be good, we'll be straight. They even say we can call on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi still, but we just can't teach the doctrine correctly. That's these individuals, though. They taking these other ways. They say we gotta call on Christ, but they gonna pay us every month. Yeah, weird, you know? It's only one way. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's what? The conditions of the battle. You gotta think about that and fathom it before you even get into it. This is what we gotta go through. That's why you listen to the lessons, you be like, okay, boom, boom, boom. Oh, that went, well, I ain't gonna have to go through that. And when you start going through that, you be like, damn. You know? But that ain't gonna happen to me. Anything. You know what I'm saying? So, why you endure these hardships, you endure these battles, man, as a good soldier of Yahawashi HaMashiach. Okay? You take it and you keep moving. You don't give up. You don't quit. That goes into endurance. Having the endurance, having the stamina, the willpower to keep pushing. And it's all through Yahawah, Bahasham. You know? The more you commit yourself to him, the more you love him, the more he's going to love you. Alright? Brother Kakma got some stuff. Let's get it. Okay. Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doeth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. For the wicked boast of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom Yahawah abhorred. Spoke about it earlier where Esau is going to be destroyed with the weapon that he imagined to destroy us with. Right? Everything you imagine. You got chemtrails all throughout the sky. You can see them in the background, right? They way over there, they over here, they everywhere. You know, and they fly them in a straight line and then they expand for miles. We looking at that like, that's miles. That's hundreds of miles that we seeing these chemtrails expanding. These chemicals, we're getting chemical rain. And when it rains, it's chemical rain because it's mixed in with the chemtrails. You know, so we getting chemicals ran upon us everywhere. I did a lesson earlier, like 2 days ago, fast food is chemical warfare. It is. McDonald's is chemical warfare. That's all it is. KFC, El Pollo Loco, whatever. You name it, Chick-fil-A, whatever. It's chemical warfare. All these chemicals, man. Bro, I had a snack yesterday that one of the elders had made. And I'm talking about this. That shit was so fire. It was Celtic salt. It was peanut butter. It was dark chocolate, and it was what's that? With a D. Dates. Fire. Nothing unhealthy. It was just four ingredients. You know? And it was 100% fire. Alright? But you go and look, it tastes like a Snickers. But you go and look at the back of a Snickers, and you're gonna find about 30, 40 ingredients. Which you can't, stuff that you don't even know. Sodium bicarbonate, potassium, like whatever. You know? So, that's showing you that Esau goes to extra lengths to kill you. To destroy you. It's chemical warfare. Everything. Sky, water, food. These are means of warfare. Because once you're fighting somebody, you want to contaminate their water source. You want to contaminate their food source. And you want to contaminate their education. All three are contaminated. Oh, and furthermore, the big one is contaminating their spiritual, their philosophy. Right? So Esau contaminates in every effect, every area. You know? Alright, so let's get it going. Let's wrap it up. Oh, actually, let's get some more of what the brother got. Psalms 10, 4-5. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahawah. Yahawah is not in all his thoughts. He can never serve Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So y'all trying to bring the YT man to serve Yahawah, Bahasham. He can't do it. It's not possible. He wasn't created for that purpose. You know? Hey, like bread is created to be bread. Water is created to be water. Water can't be bread, and bread can't be water. So, for you individuals talking about salvation is for everybody, you're trying to put something on this individual, and it's not created for him. It's not created for these heathen nations, right? So, therefore, you're what? You're twisting the scriptures. You're doing something that Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi did not want done. Showing that you do not know the will of the Most High. Alright? Because he can't get it. He don't care about Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above, out of his sight. So as for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. Exactly. Everything that he speaks. And not cursing like the curse words. It ain't fuck, ass, damn, all that, whatever. You know, no. Cursing meaning that he blasphemes and blames Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You know, what does the YT man always love to say? JC. Every single movie, TV show, whatever, What do they always say? JC, you know, or GD, you know, and those not even the names, but it's just showing you that he loves to curse the Most High and his son. All right? That's in damn near every show, every movie, man. That's how he coming. He's full of that vanity. He's speaking things that doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. It's pointless. You know, I saw a documentary the other day. This nigga said water ain't wet. This devil said water is not wet. You can look that up too. Esau, Google that. Esau says water is not wet. Okay? This devil, bro, you give him enough time, he'll twist everything. He already done gave you multiple genders. It's just two. He done gave you this and this and that, this and this. He done already gave you multiple sexes, ways that you supposed to be. Now you got what's this shit? You got the bilateral. You got the bisexual, the asexual, the homosexual. You got all this type of stuff that's not in the scriptures. You created to be fruitful and multiply. Okay? It's only one way I know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. Okay? Man and woman. Woman and man. That's it. Alright? So anything else created is an abomination. As it states in the law. Psalms 10 and 6 through 8. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is, he said, I'll never be in adversity. I'll not be moved. Meaning that, as he says in Psalms, what's that, 48? No, 68. Let's get it. Okay, his houses shall continue. Esau thinks he's untouchable. He shall never be moved. Psalms 49 and 11. The water. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right. It's like, so their generation shall continue. They think they're gonna live forever, and that's their plan. Transhumanism, putting a chip in everybody, they want to take the consciousness of their self, put it in a chip, take it out, make a clone, then put that chip in the clone. You know, Elon himself said humans will be able to live forever by, I think, 2050 using nanobots. So they're gonna be able to live forever by putting nanobots in you. That'll fight against aging and all of that. Yeah. So Esau wants to be like Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. He wants to be like the elect. He wants to have those everlasting bodies because he knows it's not promised to him. He knows that blessing is not promised to him. Right? He won't be changed in a twinkling of an eye. Well, Salaki, yes, he will. He'll be barbecued in a twinkling of an eye. You know? Keeping it going. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. You want to deal with a person like that? You go to him for a loan, all of this type of stuff. He's charging interest upon interest, usury upon usury. You know? You paying $300,000 for a house, $400,000. You're gonna pay $1 million at the end of that mortgage, 30-year mortgage. Trump trying to do a 50-year mortgage. And what is that? That's just gonna add more usury. So something that's worth $400,000, you'll probably end up paying $2 million in that 50-year time period. Read these contracts, especially on these whack-ass cars, man. All right? You know, you end up paying, it's not worth that. The shoes, the clothes, Jordans made $20, $15 in the land of Moab, you know, China. And over here they sold $200, $300, $400. Usury, usury, usury. Okay? The same way, hey, with on the Sabbath in Amos, all right, when will the new moon, when will the moon be gone? So we can charge overpriced for the goods, loosely quoting as it stated. So this is what not just Esau, this is what the heathens do in general. There's some soothsayers, there's some snake oil salesmen, man. They love to overcharge, overprice everything. Every single thing, man. You know? Overcharge, overprice. That's why when a motherfucker say it's a sale, they been charging 4 times the price, so the sale is just charging 3 times the price. It's a sale now. This place wicked, man. We gotta get up out of here. Alright. Verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privy, set against the poor. Look at that dude, Lex, what's his name? Lex Wax? Whatever, man. The Epstein dude, it's lucky it skips my mind right now. But this dude he's been ruling Ohio. He's the richest man in Ohio. But Brother Noah, you can put it on the comment board, Baba Kishar. Lex Weisker or something. Alright? But it came out, he was in unison, in tandem with the police department of the area of Ohio that he lives in. And they've been murdering people, taking people out, all this type of stuff, and it's just been shrugged under the rug. The same thing with the Epstein, you know? He's connected to the files. Okay? So, it's not just 2 people. It's not just no damn Jeffrey Epstein and the Maxwell chick. You know, 2 people. No, it's a ring. A ring is a circuit. A circuit, right? It's a group of individuals. A conglomerate. There's a massive amount of people. There's a lot of people did this shit. Oh, man. There's a lot of people involved. It's not just 2 people, so, hey, everybody name in there, boom, boom, boom. No, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Your name in there. People getting arrested, finally, right? Hey, it is what it is. And furthermore, the wickedness of this place is where you can actually go, I believe you can go to Panama, is it Panama or Costa Rica? One of them, where you can go where they have no extradition, like they can't extradite you back to America. So you can go there and live the rest of your life and never pay for your crimes, you know? And that's what a lot of these individuals will do. Or they'll retreat to their bunkers. They'll go somewhere off grid. They've been given the no and the hearsay to escape, to get out. Hey, they about to raid your house. This day, don't be there. Look at Diddy. When they raided his LA house, where was he at? He was in Florida, right? And then he got on the plane, he was about to go somewhere. You know? He was given insight to flee. Alright? Psalms 10, and at the end of that verse 2, man, his eyes are privy, set against the poor. He oppresses the poor. He messes with those that are low. This is what he does constantly, man. He's a devil, bro. Instead of uplifting your people under your rulership, under your jurisdiction, you oppress them and destroy them and knock them down and beat them down. You know? You should have no homeless people in America. None at all. But you have millions. You got tent cities, all that type of stuff going on. When you could give everybody a house, you know. You got nations where they have free healthcare, they got free college. You look at what Libya would have been, what Libya was gonna be under Gaddafi, you know, where you go to college, you get paid to go to college, you get married, I think you get like 10K or 20K for getting married, and you get a place to live. They were pushing life. They wanted their people to prosper. Obama and them said, nah. Because the point being, because they wanted to bring a gold standard, all right, upon all the nations in Africa. And that would have killed the dollar faster. The dollar still died. It's still dying. All right, so if you push life out here, Life, Esau don't like life. Okay? He is as death. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Habakkuk 2 and what's that? 2 and 5. Alright? 2 and 5. Yeah. He is as death, man. So he brings death. If you ain't pushing death, you ain't gonna make it. Look at the rappers. What? They have to push a vibration of death. Kill a nigga this, kill a nigga that. You know? If you're not pushing that vibration, your music's not gonna rise. It's not gonna go. Alright, let's keep it going. Verse 9, Psalms 10, 9 through 11. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. The wiles of the devil, the tactics, the plays, the strategies that he's trying to catch you by. You know? Now, if you don't got that light, that understanding, then you're just out here being a sleepy person. You can't see that it's a trap set over there. And Esau's gonna catch you every time, man. You know? Like he caught our people with the jabby jab. He caught our people, bro. And our people realize it now that he caught them. After everything came out, because he exposed the fact that it was a trap. He said, yeah, we didn't, yeah, it wasn't actually, y'all shouldn't have took that. We sorry. After people done took it. You know? Why you don't trust in this devil? You know, everything that he gives and brings upon you. It's a fearmonger. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in the den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. That's the same. And what's that, Sirach? Where it says, don't trust the enemy. I think 12, you know, and 10. All right, where he humbleth himself. He'll make himself low just to strike you. So in his mindset, he always wanted to kill you. Amos 1 and 11. He has a perpetual hatred towards Jacob. He has broken that brotherly covenant. He has an ongoing hatred continually. So he always wanted to kill you. You know, there's never been a point in time in his existence, going all the way back to the garden, him being that serpent, Nakash, which means a warlock, and some man, okay? Him being that man that always wanted to take us out. He's always been like that. You can't change his purpose, right? So let's read that once again. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. He hath said in his heart, Yahawah hath forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. His righteousness, huh? So he thinks that Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi has forgotten about us. And our people do as well. They sit back here and say, where is Yahawah? Where they say, where's the Lord? Right? They say, where's Jesus? They say these type of things. Because they got into a position where the sleep they're complacent in the sleep now. They're drunk off the wine. You know, they stagger. All right? That's what Isaiah 29, they love it. They got complacent. They don't care no more. They like, hey, they say, man, the Lord ain't coming back. I might as well just try to make the best of America. That's what they think. So they align themselves and position themselves to make it in America. They care about everything that's going on down here, man. Once you start forgetting who you are, where you're from, your inheritance, what's promised to you, then you're done. Because you forgot who you are. You know? That's why you gotta read the scriptures. Because it points you back to the old paths, to the customs and the ways of our people. Alright? Let me see what else the brother got. Then we're gonna begin to wrap it up. Let's see. Micah 7 and 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it And shame shall cover her which saith unto me, where is Yahawah thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mere of the streets. To you women, right? A lot of you women too, y'all in the sleep. Most of you women, man, y'all in sleep. Okay, because you're not realizing that the Israelite man is what you need to look to, all right, as lords, as protectors, as masters. You know what I'm saying? Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is dealing with that Israelite man. But you take it upon yourself to be independent-minded, to seek your own ways, to stand upon and seek and go down into Egypt for help, right? Where you're seeking towards the Wati man for everything. When, hey, what we just read, he croucheth down, he's ultimately gonna take you out. He's using you for just for a time frame. Like that's why our women was like, hey, in the you watch what is it, man? Boy, it's in my head right now. No Place for Uncle Tom or Goodbye Uncle Tom, right? All right, the Wadi Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. In that movie, it shows you how our women was bear wrenches, where Esau would take them young, and they would be bear wrenches, just doing this and doing that, boom, boom, boom. You know, that's how Esau looks at you. He'll use you, and he'll throw you away. You're not that important to him. You women, especially you Jake women, man, that get with Edomite men, you'll never be looked at in his eyes as a wife. You'll never be looked at in his eyes. He don't care about you like that. Okay? And your kids is gonna be bastards. Alright? Because they're not coming from an Israelite man. You really went and got forth with the enemy. You loved him that much that you laid down with him. You know? That shit is off. Alright? Your child will never possess the Holy Spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? That Stockholm Syndrome, that cognitive dissonance, all of that adds up to make you have no understanding, to make you start to love those that hate you. Start to love, and that's toxicity, man. This world is extremely toxic. It's just that Esau's toxicness, it doesn't look like Jake's toxic. Jake's toxic is like a ratchet in the grocery store cussing out her boyfriend. Okay, yeah, we see that. But Esau's toxic is the fouls. It's the fouls. Esau's toxic is the chemtrails. Esau's toxic is the GMOs. Alright? Esau's toxic is mass shooting. That's Esau's toxicity. Esau's toxicity is like pushing all this bullshit on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. You know? And destroying his own people by the means of these social medias, which now he uses as weapons. And furthermore, they're the data centers before data centers. That's what they are. They're tracking your every move. And we can't get away from, like, I deleted all that, most of that shit, you know what I'm saying? But even in that, we can't get away from the tracking because we use our phones to do lessons, you know? They still tracking you regardless if you turn your location tracking off. They still tracking you. All right? You make a, let's say you turn your location off. You go somewhere, you make a call. How you make that call? It hit with the satellite and ping with the tower. You're trapped. You watch these CSI, Miami, CSI, all that. You know, sometimes they find the individual just off the call that he made. They be like, well, you ping it with this tower got a ping, this tower got a ping, this tower got a ping, so he's in this location. You know? So they gonna find you via the phone. Alright? You can't escape Esau. He got an eye in the sky. He's trying to be like the Most High. Right? Let's finish that up. So you women, like, once again, going back to the point, you women that deny men, you're our enemies. You in a sleepy state. Okay? You can't see how things were supposed to be. It's divine for a man to be with a woman. That's divine order. That's the proper way of things. All right? Sex in itself is a divine ritual to bring forth another life. You know? To plant a seed. All right? So you're joined together to make another. Because what is a baby being in? That's a soul coming down. So it's all divine. It's you know what I'm saying? Blood. That's a covenant. Sex is a covenant. Right? You sleep if you think you need a damn marriage certificate to marry somebody. Let's keep it going. Isaiah 26:10. Let favor be showed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness in the land of uprightness. And what is this Bible? Yasharahla, the Bible of uprightness. Your real book of Jasher. Alright? In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of Yahawah. That's why you gotta chain this devil up. Esau can't be allowed to walk freely in the kingdom. No. Wherever he's at, bro, he got his own, he gonna do wickedness. He gonna do wickedness. He can't, he don't know how to do right. He's Mr. Can't Get Right. Remember dude on Life? Can't get right. You know what I'm saying? He can't get right. Alright? So that's him. He won't ever be able to possess this truth. And in general, heathens can't possess the Holy Spirit. Right? But we know in the kingdom they're gonna be taught the correct ways and the proper ways. Alright? To a point where they'll be able to actually keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. You know? They'll give a tenth of everything that they have. Okay? The world will no longer be sleep where they sitting around acting like they don't know Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. You know, that's got to come to an end. Alright? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, man. You know? He is doing everything. Give him his acknowledgement. Proverbs 3:6. Acknowledge him in all thy ways. Alright? Let's get it. What else the brother got? Oh man. Alright, I'm gonna get a little bit of this out. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was about to rap. You know, the point been made. Okay? Let's keep it going. Ecclesiastes 8:13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before power. Be unto him as thou hadst white a looking glass, and thou shalt not know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So, being made bare, right? We're seeing you for everything that you are. The fouls, once again, that's the tip of the iceberg. The non-profits being exposed, tip of the iceberg. The tunnels, the underground cities, tip of the iceberg, you know? All the lies. And it's basic stuff you can really learn that, like Pangea, where the earth was together, the flood came and divided. That's understood. But Esau will tell you that it took millions of years for the earth to separate. No, you're going against Bible prophecy, right? For you to say that dinosaurs lived million years, nah, man. What is Leviathan? What is the behemoth? These are dinosaurs. So all these lies that Esau has been telling you throughout the school system and all of that, you got to go and reevaluate it and learn what was true and what was correct and what was proper. He told you that the earth moving and the sun is standing still. When didn't Yahawah make the sun stand still? Alright? You know? So it's everything we've been taught is off. You start getting it in this truth. You start understanding it. When you come into this truth, this understanding. You know? Let's I'm gonna go back to Matthew 10. And I was around 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. You don't want to take the cross, you want to remain in that darkness, you don't want to do what you're supposed to do, then you're remaining in a sleep state. You're not taking accountability. You know, you're remaining blind. You're putting yourself back in the congregation of the dead when you have been woken up. You go back into the world, all right, and you try to come back, hella demons jump on you, right? Hella demons jump on you, man. Verse 38. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. We don't love our lives. We love Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We pray to do his will. All right, we move forth, and whatever he wills is what he wills. If it's for us to be took out, you know, then that's what it is. If it's for us to make it and go into a chariot, then that's what it is. Us to be martyred, that's what it is, right? We are subject, you know, and even with that, we understand Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is merciful. Okay, he's a loving power to those that love him. So it's not no type of unjust that he's gonna bring you. It's ultimate justice that he brings forth. You know, it ain't no unjust in the Most High. Whatever judgment he brings forth, whatever thing that happens upon an individual is correct. Alright, via Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Ain't no mistakes when he does something. You know? Let's see what else the brother got. We're going. Let's see what else the brother got. Alright, Proverbs 4:14 through 16. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. Esau, you know, sleazy Eve, loves to fuck us up. Going back to it, man. Okay? His primary mission is to destroy Jacob. His primary mission is to destroy the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's what he wants to do. That's what he was created to do. To be a challenge to us. You take it back to the time of Esther, which Purim coming up. Alright, it's really around. It's close. I gotta check the calendar, but I know Purim is you know, the 12th month. So in that situation where Yahawah allowed Haman to go forth and declare a decree to take out every Israelite. We were scattered in many different regions under Persia. Persia had 100 and something provinces, which it was massive. Okay, it was a massive area. Esther, first chapter, verse 1. Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus. This is Ahasuerus, which reigned, or Artaxerxes, from India even unto Ethiopia, over 107 provinces. Over 107 provinces. So, you know, 127 provinces. Massive empire that he ruled, right? The Persian Empire. So you had Israelites scattered amongst those provinces. All right, over here, over there, over here, over there. Via when we were took captive via the Babylonians, and also going back to when we were took captive via the Assyrians. Now, majority of the northern kingdom took it upon themselves to what? To come to America, according to 2nd Esdras 13 and 40, right? But you may have had, you did, not may, but you did have some northern kingdom that stayed back and they were around. As you can see that because it's in the New Testament. You have a certain individual that was of Asher, you know? So it's letting you know you had some of the northern kingdom that was still there, bits and pieces, all right? So Haman took it upon himself to make a decree to take us all out. It was ordained by the Most High though. He put it in that man to have that decree just for the story to take place, where Esther she would rise up, and then she would bring in, give Mordecai the ability, and they would go forth to make it, to fight against the decree, to make a decree where the Israelites could bear arms and fight back, right? Because anything that the king had written, because he got tricked into writing it, but he had it put down, it was law. It was already pushed out as law, right? So then a law had to be put out for the Israelites to be able to fight back. And this is where you get the Feast of Purim from, you know? So just bringing all that out, right, is where you got these, and Haman was what? He was an Edomite, right? Or Argathite, right? So, it's wicked, man. Their purpose is to kill all of Jacob. He looked in his mind, was like, yo, I can get all these Israelites right now. I just get the king to make this one decree to take all of them out. Boom, I won. You know, he thought he won. You did not win. What happened to him? Okay, the gallows, him, his sons, his family got took out. All right, the weapons that he used, that he built to take out Mordecai, eventually got used upon him. The same way, the weapons that Esau has made to take us out, the ICBM missiles and all of that, is going to get used upon him, you know, because you want to take out every single Israelite, but that's not going to take place, man. Okay, let's keep it going. What else? Let me see, where was I at? Some to fall. Way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. I don't know. Let's go to Psalms 36 and 1, because I think that might be a piece of this. To the chief musician, a psalm of David, the servant of Yahawah, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of power before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. Man, I got runny nose, bro. The words of his mouth are in iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief. Upon his bed he setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. He loves evil. He seeks to do evil. Right? He seeks to continuously bring forth evil, man. So if you align with him in his ways, where he is blind, because he can't see the light, he can't see the understanding, then therefore you're going to be what? You're going to be wicked. You're going to be evil, because you're aligning with an evil man. Let's get a precept upon that. Proverbs 11 and 21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. The seed of the righteous. If you join with the wicked, then therefore you are wicked. 2nd Ezra 6 and 14. Nah, 2nd Corinthians 6 and 14. Hey, 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. And it reads, but ye, be ye, nah, let's start up. Let's start at the low. Oh, ye Corinthians.
That's your nice burger, brother.
I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes,
It's nice
ma'am.
and hot.
Nah, I'm okay.
Lettuce and tomato.
I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you. God bless you. All right. Oh, ye Corinthians, our mouth is open unto you. Our heart is enlarged. Ye are not strengthened in us, but you are strengthening in your own bowels. To be strengthening is to be going through it. To be going through transgressions, to be going through challenges, etc., etc. These individuals, Corinthians, which were Israelites, all right, they were not going through it like that. They were accustomed to living in the world and doing all of this. Your own bowels means the pleasures, your desires, your own bowels, your flesh. You're loving your flesh. So you're doing what your flesh wants you to do. You know? Now for a recompense in the same, I speak as unto my children, be ye also enlarged. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? We know we got to go through those straits. We got to go through challenging positions, obstacles, situations that are uncomfortable to us. You know, to those that consent will be had in derision. 2 Ezra 16 and 69. You know, we're not consenting with the ways of Esau Edom. We're not conforming with this world. Alright? So, therefore, we got to go through the persecution, the straits, all this other stuff. And furthermore, man, overcoming ourselves. That's a massive part of this. Your biggest enemy is yourself. Fighting this flesh. You fighting it every day. You know? So, hey, man, with that being said, let me see if any more precepts. Oh, hey, I'm going to get up out of here. Pray. This has been edifying. All right. You know, to the best of the ability of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, you know, bringing it down, allowing me to speak. You know what I'm saying? As always, turning to the east already. Giving all praises, honor, and glory be to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us His truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect. Alright, as always, Kwam Yasharahla and the Bible Bar to His wicked kingdom. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Destroyed this bitch yesterday, man. Let's get up out of here. You can't see the light, you're walking in darkness, man. Alright, Shalawam, Shalawam, and the water for all the precepts. Alright, Shalawam, Shalawam.